Hi, my name is Faye and welcome to my channel. I scored 12 A's in SPM and A star in A levels, so feel free to subscribe to my channel for more study tip videos. In this video, I will be talking about the Karangan tips that helped me boost my results from a C to an A+, so feel free to skip to the parts that you're interested in. I will explain my secret weapon, which is the IMBAKUP technique, what peribahasa, frasa menarik, definisi, and statistic you need to add in your karangan, how to easily have more than 6 peribahasa in your karangan. The most important part of this video is actually at the end, where I dissect one of my paragraphs from my BM essay and tell you even more study tips for SPM and how to score that A+ for your karangan. I'll be posting a video on how to score A+ for Kertas 2, so subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you do not miss that video. First, to ensure excellent essay structure, I strictly follow this rule when writing each paragraph. That is the IMBAKUP technique. Isi, mengapa, bagaimana, apa, kesan, ungkapan, penegasan, dan peribahasa. Also, by using this technique, your essay will not only be long, but the length of each paragraph will be very consistent. This will greatly help with the examiner's first impression of your essay, which will ultimately impact your final marks. Remember to stay till the end of the video, where I'll show you exactly how I use IMBAKUP in one of my paragraphs. Now, I will go in detail on how you can boost your essay by doing these little steps. Most students will begin their paragraphs with langkah pertama, langkah kedua, and penanda wacana like seterusnya, which is so boring. Instead, replace that with frasa menarik like prepare at least 4 of these frasa menariks before your exam. For A+, memorize 7 so that you do not repeat any of these frasa menarik for both essays. You can find these frasa menarik or ungkapan menarik online by searching Contoh Karangan, but I highly recommend that you go to a bookshop and buy a few Contoh Karangan books because most students will not do that, so that ensures that the frasa that you use will be rarer and less common. Next, this is how you can make sure that each paragraph has at least one peribahasa. This is a secret hack. This is the same for every single essay format. Remember IMBAKUP? In penegasan, you can write your peribahasa. Write a peribahasa about finishing what you started or that you need to put in effort in order to achieve something. Here is exactly how you can use those peribahasa that I just showed you in every single paragraph that you write. First, write a penanda wacana like intihannya, then kita perlulah isi untuk kehendak soalan, ibarat peribahasa, then add one of those peribahasa at the end. Let me show you another example. Pause if you need to. Here are other words you can substitute in. Prepare at least 10 of these. Try not to write boring and common peribahasa like bagai awal dengan tebing. It just gives a very underwhelming first impression. If you have 4 isi, this will guarantee that your essay has at least 4 peribahasa. If you want an A+, this is arguably the most important. Write down the definitions for the keywords in the question or the soalan. I prepared definitions for these words specifically. For example, here is my definition of ibu bapa. Just Google definisi and the word that you're looking for after that. I'll write this down in my pendahuluan. If you can manage to define the question, the examiner will love you as it shows that you truly understand the topic inside out. Try to avoid common openings like these. Second, write a pantun, sajak, or lyric lagu at the start of your essay. Memorize 2 pantun, one for remaja and one for masyarakat. Use these when necessary. Here is an example of me using the lyrics of a song as my opening for an essay. It is about remaja. However, if you want to score A+, here is what you can do. Print out at least 1 statistic and 1 quote for each tema. Here are the temas that I prepared for. Search on Google, statistik tentang, then type in your tema. Compile them like what I did here. Do not write down quotes or statistics if you're worried that you can't write them down accurately. It's better to not write any at all than to write some wrongly. Here is an example. I wrote a quote by William Curtis that is, "Kebahagiaan utama hidup ialah kesehatan." Next, before the exam, memorize 2 pendahuluan and 2 penutup. Your penutup should menyimpulkan isi, which means that you write down all the isi again. You should write down who needs to work together to make sure that the efforts don't go to waste. Next, write down what you hope would happen. Lastly, you have to write about what you hope for the future. So for example, pembentukan sebuah masyarakat yang sihat dan bebas daripada masalah keracunan makanan. Memorizing and practicing writing your pendahuluan and penutup before the exam can literally save you 10 to 20 minutes of time. To prepare for isi, take out your contoh karangan books and highlight the main points. Then underline any frasa menarik you would like to remember. Also, remember to note down the examples they give and the peribahasa they use. Do this for as many essays as you can for each tema. Here in my perpaduan notes, you can see that I wrote the frasa menarik for each activity. So instead of writing, aktiviti gotong royong merupakan aktiviti berfaedah, I can instead write this. Finally, here is how I've incorporated everything that I've just said in this video into this one paragraph. Pause the video if you need to. Apakah cara-cara menangani masalah obesity dalam kalangan masyarakat? In the first sentence, don't only state the main point, but also explain untuk apa. In the second sentence, I'm explaining why that is so important. Notice how I mentioned Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia. That shows the examiner that the student has extensive general knowledge and that research was done. I need to explain how does referring to the food pyramid prevent obesity. First, notice that I had used 2 penanda wacana to make the points flow better. Here are some examples of penanda wacana you can use. Then, I also used an ungkapan menarik. I managed to also use a peribahasa to further emphasize the importance of following the food pyramid. Next, you have the apa section. You have 2 options here. Either you can give 3 examples or give 3 descriptions to 1 example. Let me explain. If you give 2 and say sebagai-bagainya at the end, you sound like you run out of ideas. Or you can choose to write 3 descriptions for 1 example. This is the option that I chose for this particular paragraph. So you can clearly see how I only gave 1 example, which is bibimbap, but I clearly described how this particular dish is very healthy. I didn't write kesan for this particular paragraph because I just didn't find that it was necessary. For ungkapan, I had decided to name Malaysian athletes. By naming people accurately, you are showing the marker that you have extensive general knowledge. And for penegasan, I summarized the paragraph by using the method that I mentioned just now. So you can clearly see now that by remembering the IMBAKUP technique, your essay will be very structured and you can explain your points very well. So we've come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching until this far. Let me know down below what kind of videos you want me to make. And remember that I'll be posting another video on how to score A+ for BM Kertas 2. So subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you do not miss out on that video. Thank you to my 450 subscribers and bye-bye!